All right. Hello, T Quilters. Today is Saturday, March 1st, 2025, and it is 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. We are doing a live hour sewing chat, and I also have lives on Wednesday at 7 p.m. for 1 hour. That's also Central Standard Time, where we do a variety of things. Like next Wednesday is birthday shout-outs for the month of March. So if you have a birthday in March and you would like for me to give you a birthday shout-out, please send it to me at Teaquilts at teaquilts.com via email, and I will give you a birthday shout-out. Any shout-outs put in the chat on Wednesday will not be read. I'm only going to be doing the birthday shout-outs from the list that I have. So hopefully you will come back and join me then. My name is T of T Quilts, and I also have a Facebook page that's T Quilts LLC. If you'd like to join that, make sure that you answer the 4 membership questions so that you can be approved to join that group. And we're here just having fun. Today I have on my T Quilts quilt retreat shirt. This is actually the 2025 retreat shirt that we're going to be wearing in the month of June. June 24th through the 29th. 2025 is T Quilts Retreat. This is number 4. I normally was having them every other year. Now I'm having them every year. And I may end up doing like some small breakout retreats. Like if I find a retreat center that will have 12 people, maybe I'll start doing some smaller retreats as well. But for right now, we have just one a year. I also have a chartered bus that's included in that 5-night retreat stay. And if you are local to St. Louis or metropolitan Illinois area as well, and you want to do a bus trip, we're having a bus trip on January 25th, and you're more than welcome to join us just for that one day. So everything you can, for everything, you can contact me via email at teaquilts@teaquilts.com. So welcome everybody. I hope you've had a great Saturday. I've had a long 2 days that I'll be talking about in a little bit. So let me pull up this chat so I can see who's in it. Pause my video. All right, so let's start with the shout outs in the chat. We got Darcy Savelli reminding you all to give the thumbs up as well. If you are new here, subscribe. You'll know if you're subscribed to this channel, because if you can't see a chat box where you can chat with us live, that means you're not subscribed to the channel. So please subscribe so that you can chat with us as well. And then she's also wanting you to hit that notification bell so you receive notifications when I'm live. Also check out the Facebook page, T Quilts LLC. So thank you, Darcy, for that. Also in the chat, we have Sue GSD. She's reminding you all that we have 116 days until the 2025 retreat. Hope all is well with those within our group. And she's saying, oh, what a beautiful day it was. Yes, we had a better day yesterday. It was a little bit colder today. It was like we had summer. We were in like the mid 70s yesterday, and then came back this morning. It was like 35 degrees when I came out the door. I was like, oh no. So a little bit chillier today, but we had some great days. Dee Branson is here saying her rent is paid. When you see somebody saying their rent is paid, that means they've hit that thumbs up button. If you haven't, go out right now, hit the thumbs up button while I'm doing shout outs, and come on back and join the chat. Betsy, seems like we have a movie star with us tonight. Hello, Miss T and all T Quilters. My rent is paid. We'll be talking about that in a little bit. Melody Kiefer is here. Brenda Foley, Vivian Calvi, Maddie, Irish Cell Lady, Remo JS. Also reminding you all to hit the thumbs up to show your love and support. You won't be disappointed. Hi, C. Carter. Welcome to the chat. I don't remember seeing your name before, so I appreciate you commenting and chatting with us. Sean of Go Savvy Designs is also here. Diane McCoy, Dolores Feltz, Ray Mahone, Janet McCarroll, Carissa Reninger, Don Cunningham, Delia Castro Short, Claudette Hall, and T. Roberts, Patricia Priest, Melinda C., Michelle the Quilter. She says it was nice to see the Underground Railroad quilts on Joe's channel. And she's talking about Joe Carmel of Quilts by Carmel, her channel. I was on there last Thursday like it was last week. It's been so much going on that it feels like last week, but it was just this past Thursday where we did the Underground Railroad reveals as part of her Black History Month sew along. So you can check that out. Darcy saying she's getting so excited about retreat. Yes, now is time to really get excited about it because it's literally just right around the corner, and it's going to be, things are going to start going so fast, it's going to be ridiculous now. So, yes, I got a couple of major things. Well, I got like a whole lot of major things because I'm working on stuff behind the scene, but I have a quilt lecture. I think it's the month of April. May have a workshop as well. And then I also have another retreat in May, Memorial Day weekend, and before the T Quilts retreat. And then I'm also planning a quilt show for my quilt guild. So having a whole lot of setbacks with that for some strange reason. And it's just a little bit more stressful than it should be. But you got to do what you got to do. You got to just keep going. So, oh, and Joe Carmel is in here now saying hello to everyone. Janice Miller is here. Said she received her templates today. Awesome, awesome. I did not even get a chance to check the P.O. box. So if anybody sent any pillowcases for our 200 pillowcase drive, anyone can participate. You can send one pillowcase or you can send 100. Whatever your soul desires, they will all be appreciated equally. We are asking for people to make pillowcase, and we're going to be giving these out to charity of all kinds. It can be with the fire department so they can put items in the pillowcases. We are going to be donating them to Almost Home, which is a home where it's for teen moms. They get them educated, get them with high school diploma, and then they also get them enrolled into college. And then they get them situated into programming. And then their last step is that they place them in their own apartments, and then they give them quilts. And I'm thinking it would be also awesome if they could get pillowcases. I found out some military organizations here also give out, when they give out their quilts of valor, or they have children of one soldier deployed, they also give up quilts, and thought pillowcases would be great for that. So veterans, daycare centers, we get 200 pillowcases. We can give anybody that wants a pillowcase a pillowcase. So that's what the pillowcases are for: male, female, adult, and children. My mailing address is always listed in the video descriptions. It's P.O. Box 38205, St. Louis, Missouri 63138, addressed to T Quilts. Zandra Oldham is here, so welcome, welcome. Benita Nance says she's sewing and listening. Miss Topaz is here, welcome, welcome. She was also on the Underground Railroad reveal. It was very nice to see faces. It's been so long since I was in a chat with Miss Topaz when Eric and I were doing chats together. So I had forgot all about Miss Topaz until I saw her on Joe Cormel's channel. So it was great to meet up with her again. Just wonderful. Jacqueline Mason is here. And C Joy Creations, trying to get to the bottom. Tamar Israel's here. Again, if you see people saying that their rent is paid, that means that they've hit the thumbs up button. So I appreciate everyone that has done that. Marge Abel is here. And hold on. Lost my space. Ingrid Sews It All is here. Hi, Ingrid. Dorothy Battle is here, saying her rent is paid. Welcome, lady. She came to T Quilts retreat first time last year, and she's coming back with her and her friend this year, so that feels wonderful. Again, just to talk a little bit about retreat, for the people that haven't heard anything about it, and it sounds so far-fetched to travel for a retreat, but I do this retreat for you guys. You all requested this. I pushed back a lot before I scheduled the first retreat. And it was funny because I had like maybe 30 people saying that they were going to do it. This place was trying to finish out their retreat center, but we only got 8 people that actually followed through, because it is a scary thing to do, to say, I live in California, I live in Florida, I live in Maryland, I live in Michigan, that I'm going to just go to Missouri for a quilt retreat. There are so many different retreats that you can go to. And it's like, first time people didn't quite take the bite. I had, 3 people local to St. Louis area attend. And then we had, 1 from Alabama, 2 from Ohio. I don't know what city at this point, and then 1 from California. So we ended up having 7 people total. But I recorded everything that we did on that retreat, and we had such a great time that the next time I had a retreat, believe you me, people were trying to come. And so I had been having them, as I said, the plan was every other year. And so had the second retreat, and those people said that they were coming back for the next retreat, which would have at that time was scheduled for 2 years out. So I ended up having to schedule another retreat for the people, because nobody could get on the other list, because all of those people said they were coming back. And I do give first dibs to, like, at sign up, not at the last minute, but there's a certain number of days that I give people that have attended a prior retreat the option to come back to the next retreat, because I feel it's only fair. You put your trust and confidence in me to plan this trip, and it's not a cheap trip. I don't feel like it's an overly expensive trip, but things cost money and everything keeps going up. So for you to put your trust in me, my reward to you is that you get the first dibs at the next retreats that are scheduled. So I was just honored. It's almost now, it feels like a family reunion when people come back, because it's like, now I know who some of my YouTube followers are, and I now consider a great number of them my friends, even though I don't see them but once or twice or maybe 3 times a year, because sometimes we go to quilt shows, we see each other. So it just depends. So I've made some really great friends that I may not see you every day, I may not talk to you every day, but I do know that if I should ever call you and need your assistance with something, I know that you're there for me, and I hope that you know that it's reversed on this side as well. So that's what the T Quilts retreats end up feeling like, is a family reunion. So you can come alone, you can come with a friend, but no matter how you come, you're going to feel welcome and you're going to have a great time at the T Quilts retreats. And if you don't, you just let me know and I'll fix it for you. That's what I'm there for. So I try to make sure that everybody is accommodated by things that they are allergic to, things that like forced food, and things that um, against your religious beliefs. Now, if you just don't eat something like me, I don't eat a whole lot of stuff. I don't put that type of stuff down. But if I'm allergic to something, I would definitely put that down and make sure that I have the food preparers aware so that nothing happens to you while you're on retreat with T Quilts. I try to make sure that your safety is number one um, as well. So if you're ever in doubt as to whether or not you should travel to go to any retreat, I'm here to tell you that T Quilts retreat is one that you should most definitely try if you want to do a retreat that's far away. So we've got 116 days. Sue is back in that chat again. So yes. Lenore Thomas said, Needle Riot says, hey T, I got my seam pressed fast. It did not get stuck in St. Louis. Girl, thank you, Jesus. I think it mostly happens on mail coming in. Like it's traveling through the St. Louis area and not leaving, which is so weird. But that's what happened. So I'm glad you got it. I just picked one for you, so I hope you like it. Ingrid says she's very excited to be attending her first T Quilts retreat as well. Joyce Sterling is here. Sheila Willis is here. Anita Scott came in. That's Dorothy's friend. Lori is laughing at me. Paula S. is here. So a lot of these names that I'm reading in chats are people that are going to be at the T Quilts retreat, and they have been at previous retreats and are coming back. Some of them are on their third retreat. There's only 3 people that have attended all 4 T Quilts retreat, or will attend all 4, because this will be my 4th one. And that is Sarah, my friend Sarah Carr Jordan, and then Claudette Battis. One more, Gail Waisinen. They were at my very first retreat. So it's kind of, you got to be kind of special to have made it to all 4 T Quilts retreats, because only 7 people attended the first one. And then, of course, myself. So I guess it's 4 people that have attended, because I had to be there, right? So, but yeah. Let's see. Let me make sure I got everybody shouted out. Hi, Kim R. Jason Lewis. He's busy with a sewing weekend as well. Bonita says, we are family and we love Miss T. Yes, and that's exactly how I feel. The first year that I had to stop at 32 people. I think we had, or 28. We had to stop at 28 because it was after COVID had happened. It was when the center had just started opening back up, and they wouldn't let us put 32 people in the room, which is the max that will fit. And we had 28. I tell you, I was overwhelmed that whole entire retreat. It was to the point where I think they were trying to make me cry. Kim says that she's so glad I found this group and came to retreat. The best, yes. And you're kind of, like I say, you're leery the first time. And Kim even had the recommendation of Jason as well to come. But it still doesn't mean anything until you're actually there, because committing to 5 nights someplace and you're not even sure if you're going to even like the people or what's going on is a lot for people to do. And then you got to spend your money on top of it. So that's great coming from Kim. She attended her first retreat last year. Leah Bryant is here. Kevin the Quilter is here. Just landed to the loo. So hello, welcome home, Kevin. Awesome, awesome. Holly Duvall's here. Let's see. Make sure we get everyone. I think we're about to the end. Oh, Lenore says she loves her seam press. I want to go to retreat maybe next year. Yes. And let's see. I'm trying to get to the bottom. I thought I was at it. Paula says, does 3 count? Girl, 1 retreat counts. You know 3 counts. That's what I said. It's like very rare. But I was telling them that it's a lot of you all in the chat that are on your 3rd retreat. Let's see if I can remember some of you all. It's going to be on the 3rd retreat, probably is Paula S. Kevin is number 3. Carla Ford is number 3. Sheila. Sharon Lewis. I said Paula S. Trying to go around the room. Sue GSD. Going around the room, guys. I got, she doesn't watch my YouTube. Charlene Wall is coming back. I know Charlene personally. Of course, like I said, Gail and Sarah and Claudette. And trying to think who else on that side of the room. Viola technically is coming to her 3rd retreat. She ended up getting a free spot her 1st year because somebody canceled like the day before. And so I just contacted Viola. She had other things on her schedule, but she lived locally. And she just did a commuter where she just came to the parts that she could attend. So she didn't attend the whole 1st retreat. And she didn't pay for it, but she was there. So she's 3. And then I've got Norma, Cynthia. And I might be missing 1 or 2, but I've done the best that I can. But it's quite a few people that are on their 3rd year. And Marge says that I need to make the next retreat. I found out about the retreat. I found out too late about the retreat. So, okay, awesome. And Joe Carmel's here also saying traveling to St. Louis for a retreat was totally worth it. And Yolanda Riza is also here. And that's the thing, when I feel like you all have already done a lot to get to a place. And the first thing that I want to do is make sure everybody is happy and comfortable and safe and that we get you to where you need to be. So that's my goal. I'm up here laying out my Dresden village block here. I'm about to sew. So what have I been doing? The last 2 days, I have not even been able to even respond to a whole lot of my text messages, emails, or anything like that because I have been I'm filming as part of a documentary, and I can't remember right now, and I'm telling you my email is so messed up that I can't figure out who told me about this documentary, but it was one of you T Quilters. And it's a documentary that's being done about St. Louis quilters, cultural. It's about all culturals supporting and helping one another via quilting, and how quilting can bridge race gaps and things like that, or how people can get together of different races because of quilting. And I'm sure that there are probably other crafts that do that, but quilting is one of those things that whenever I'm at a quilt show, me as a Black African American, I have never been felt like nobody wanted to talk to me. I've had very great experiences. You all know I have gone to a lot of quilt shows. If you don't know about that, then you haven't been paying attention to my quilt show playlist. And I record those things and come back, and it's just always, everybody's in a great mood. And that's one of the things I think in quilting, that we do bridge race gaps. I've felt that, myself when I'm out in public, because there are certain times I go other places. Me being an educator, I go to rural areas where there is not one Black or African American person in that whole town. I'm the only one. But when I get to that Quilt Guild meeting, It's like they know no boundaries of race because they came to learn and be educated. And sometimes, especially when I first started, before I had a reputation, um, I would go in, I would do all my setup, and sometimes I wouldn't have one soul speak to me, especially I'm talking about rural quilting areas. And I wouldn't have one soul talk to me, but that's okay because once I got set up, I was one of those people that I was also learning from my experience so that I could take it back to my quilt guild. So I would walk around to all of their stations and I would ask them, what is this particular station? How is it ran? So if it was their charity quilt station, I would ask them questions about that. If it was they had some kind of optional block program, I'd ask them about that. Show and tell sign up, ask them how they do that. How do people sign up to get an order, or do you just randomly do it? I would go around, I would make those people talk to me. Now, most times this is pre-teaching, pre-lecture. I would just get the answer to my question. No one ever asked me anything back. But after I did my lecture, proved who I was and what I know in the quilting industry, I had so many people up trying to talk to me now that I couldn't get anybody to talk to me before. It's amazing how your knowledge and your involvement and proven to be a real quilter can bridge the cultural race thing that exists. And sometimes I think if you're living in your own little bubble and you're not used to seeing the other races, be it somebody that's got an Indian background from Russia, whatever, you don't even realize that you have that tendency. It's just occurring and you probably haven't even processed it. But the same people that I couldn't get to give me any type of feedback other than the information that I asked are now asking me questions, wanting more information on particular things that I talked about. And so it's just amazing to me. And that's what I feel this documentary is going to do. We had filming Friday and Saturday, so it was all day. And I also, after we did filming yesterday, it was more like tabletop discussion. We talked about our quilt blocks. We also talked about how we were going to set the quilt. And then I had Jersey. I kept her from 6 p.m. to about 2 a.m. So I was really tired because Jersey has, she comes to party. She didn't go to bed till after midnight. And then I was able to get up and prep myself for the parts that we had to do today. And then today we ended up putting part of the quilt top together. There are some parts that we couldn't put together because we need to have a professional machine embroiderer do some stuff for us. But we got all the rest of it that we could get done together today. And I'm one of those people, I'm always proactive whether my information is going to be needed or not. So I sat down in EQ and I sketched out our quilt this morning before I went back to the meeting. I sat down and started figuring out how much fabric yardage we were going to need for that quilt, because just in case nobody else had done it, my time is very valuable as well. So I wanted to make sure that if nobody else had it, that I wouldn't be wasting my minutes this morning calculating fabric yardage or starting from scratch on a blank piece of paper. So I had my little grid and EQ all ready for me to do all of that. So that ended up paying off. I think it's going to be a fantastic project. Most documentaries, it's not about like making a beautiful quilt. It's about the meaning behind the quilt. And I think as far as our quilt, I think our quilt stands very well against other documentary type quilts. I think we done a very good job selecting. And then we had, well, I say 10. We were missing one yesterday when we were picking fabrics. But we had, well, she did come in a little later. So about 11 people trying to make one quilt. Can you imagine? That was hilarious. And so, but I tried to make sure that I had good use of my time. I knew we were going to be there to at least 3 o'clock. I was trying not to be there till 5 because I knew I had to come home and do a live and I needed a nap. So I was very successful in that. We got everything done. We know where we're headed. I'm really happy with the documentary. Again, one of you T Quilters did recommend this person to me. Apparently, she knew who I was before, because when I went to accept her friendship on Facebook, I didn't realize that she had asked me to be a friend. I don't really accept a whole lot of friendships on Facebook if I don't know the names, because I just don't, because I'm not on there for general stuff, and I didn't know who this woman was, and apparently she had requested my friendship years ago, a couple years ago. But so thank you to the person that put me in touch with her. I feel like, as far as she does different type subject things that are based on arts and crafts, or art in general. So it's just awesome to see what she's doing. She's producing this video, directing this video. We had very nice film crew. This was our actual third day of filming. Well, 4 days technically, because what they did was they did individual interviews at one point. And so I don't envy anybody that's trying to take 4 full days of videotaping and make it into a 45-minute to an hour documentary. So it's going to be a big job. But I'm enjoying the process. I enjoy what her subject area, what she's trying to do. I am not allowed to show you all anything. The documentary is scheduled to come out, if it's on schedule, September of this year. There will be a book available. I will let you know more about that as well. And so there's going to be there are going to be gallery showings. There's going to be I don't know what you call a documentary. Like, we're going to have a grand opening of a gallery showing at one place, but then we're also going to be doing documentary viewings at other places. And so it's going to be a lot of things going on, and I think it's going to be fantastic. And again, this is about St. Louis women in quilting. And I find it, not that this has anything to do with just women, but I found when I started quilting as a Black African American in St. Louis, I didn't know where they were. And even when we started filming with some of the other people, there is one, two, three. There's 3 other Black or some other, because we all kind of got different cultural things. We could be from the North, we could be from the South. So even if we're Black, it's about also your region and area, things like that. So I did not know 3 of them that were there. I only knew one other one, okay? So it's just amazing to me that I've been quilting since 1994, and I still don't know even all the African American quilters in the St. Louis area. So it's going to be interesting, I think. We got some interesting backgrounds as well that I think it's going to be enjoyable. Let me go back. I think I said Yolanda was here. Paula says, I met the best people on the first retreat. I was nervous, not knowing what to expect. That soon disappeared once I settled in. And Paula had extreme issues because her mode of transportation was also hours late. And we had to go numerous times trying to pick her up. And so she was, it was an all-day ordeal for her. And she came in with just the best disposition. She was just happy to be there. And she got in late. We got her some food really quick because she hadn't eaten. And we got her in the bed because Paula had to get back up because the bus was leaving at 5:30, okay? So Paula had to get back up at 5. But it was just amazing to me. And, you got to do what you got to do when things come. There's always something trying to stop your joy. And so you got to keep trucking to make sure that nothing stops your joy. We were going to make sure that everybody got to retreat and everybody got where they needed to be. It was one retreat. Was that the same retreat where somebody was coming in the second day or something? I almost missed the bus. And they got the bus because that was last year. Somebody made the bus because the bus ended up being late. So even though I was mad because the bus wasn't there on time, it helped somebody else out where they got to get on the bus. So everything I think works out it's weird, the totality of the universe, how things work out in the end. It's always a positive to almost every negative if you want to look at it that way. Even in death, you can always see if somebody is in pain or something like that, you can see the possibility of the positive of that being that they're no longer in pain and they're with the Lord, So it just depends on how you look at life. So, did we remind everyone about pillowcases? Yes, I did. You weren't in here yet, but I did remind everybody. And for those that have come in late, we are having a 200 pillowcase drive for T Quilts. I don't have the book in here, so I can't tell you what number we are, but we're close. I have a feeling we're going to go way over, but I'm okay with that too. That's very acceptable. And I've given the information out, so thank you, Kevin. And I'm sure that he hasn't seen me comment on it because I've been talking, that he's already put it down in the chat in all caps, so you can't miss it. and we laughed about this at Scrap Club, and he goes, yes, I am hollering at them because I want those pillowcases. Too funny. And Marge is saying the retreat is full, right? Oh, and then I think Yolanda says, T, did the last spot get filled? So, yes, I finally got somebody that's going to, yesterday, I got somebody. They're starting to make the payments. So once all of their payments are in, then we'll be full. I'm trying to figure this out. I could technically take a couple more people. If you are really, really, really wanting to come to this year's quilt retreat, email me. I'll tell you what the fees are. It depends on the problem with taking more people now is that if I get one person that wants to pay for a single, everything is fine. If I get somebody that's wanting a double, then that's where the issue comes because I may not be able to find you a roommate to double with. The first year I did have people that doubled into rooms that didn't know each other. It's going to happen again this year because some people just put down they don't want to pay for a single. You're not going to be in your room a whole lot, especially if you're a person like me that likes to quilt and sew. You're not going to be in your rooms. Going to retreats not about the bedrooms. It's about the camaraderie with your quilting peers. And then you're going to be in that room trying to sew. Other than the first night, we're going to try to go to bed early because we got to get the bus by 5:30. It's leaving at 5:30, okay? So, yeah, that's the only time I'm worried about going to bed early because the first day I'm unpacking everything, getting everybody situated. And so I'm kind of tired the first day. So I do go to bed just so I can get some quiet time because whereas retreat doesn't start till 10 for you guys, I've been up and working since like 6 a.m. So, and my retreat committee has been up working since 6 a.m. because we got to get there early, get things set up for you, know where everything's going to be so we can direct you to where you need to go. And this year we're at a different facility, so it's going to be a little different for us as well. We got 2 rooms. So if you have somebody that's coming with you wanting a double, I would do 2 people. If you somebody that's 2 single people wanting a single, but just know it's $1,100. You're gonna have to pay it all, or you can pay it like I'll give you like within a month. Get me all of your payments. But other than that, it's filled. And that's why I tell people, if you're wanting to come to a T Quilts retreat, start a year or 2, however your money is, because I know it can be costly for some budgets. I'm not saying that $1,100 for a single is not a lot of money. It is a lot of money. And if I was spending my money, I would want to make sure that I'm spending my money on something that's worth it. But so it is a lot of money. So what I recommend people do is, if you know that you got so much money coming in, set aside so much money every month or every 2 weeks when you get paid. So therefore, you have your money already put aside. Some people put more money aside because we do shop hopping for 2 days. And they want to make sure that they have spending money as well. So I'm not negating the fact that the fees are costly, but it is a 5-night retreat. I couldn't understand why I would bring you to St. Louis for just a 2-night retreat, but then you're going to want to go to the quilt stores, and then you're going to want to go see some other parts of St. Louis, and then it's like you're not at retreat. So what I've done is I've built in 2 retreat shop hop days. One is on a chartered bus where we go long distance. We're gone all day. We come back about 8:30, 9 p.m. at night. And the second day is to our local stores. So that way you get to see some of the St. Louis stores. And I pick some of my favorite stores, or stores that I feel are receptive or appreciative of the T Quilt community. I don't want to take you anywhere where somebody won't even give you a discount or won't put anything on sale for us. So I am eliminating and making sure when I talk to store owners that they're willing to do that for us, or willing to change their hours for us. I want them to give us something if we're bringing a busload of people in. So Kevin and I do dry runs. If we don't see where they've got a decent sale section, you know, and when I say decent sale section, you know how sometimes you go into quilt shops you love and every fabric on the wall you want a piece of, but then when you go to the sale section, it's like, did they even have this on the shelf to sell in the first place? And so we check that type of stuff. And if we don't see it, like one store, we didn't see sale fabric. They had a lot of notions. And so we talked to her about it, and she said that she would work with us and put a sale table outside for us, so you'll see it right when you come in. And so I'm like, that's great, that's exactly what I'm looking for. And some stores don't need to have a sale, may not be the best customer service, but it's the best price, okay? So we got things like that, you know. So Kevin and I, we try to make sure that a variety of people needs are met, because we realize that everybody can't afford to buy $13 per yard fabric. Okay, so we try to do a combination of everything, as well as service, as well as my favorite stores, you know, blah, blah, blah. So let's see who else is coming here. Sheila says, I think I'm the one that told you about it. So yeah, because I tried finding emails. Emails wouldn't come up because I wanted to thank the person when I got in touch with Paulette. But yeah, so thank you. Minnie Doula is here. Don says, wow, the documentary sounds so interesting. Will it be available for us to watch? I'm not sure what the media is going to be in the end, but I think in the end there should be some kind of link for people out of town. I'm going to make sure that any tea quilters that want a book, it's going to be some kind of book following. And the book is not, like, she got a grant, but with filming 4 days, she's already ran through that grant. And the people that are doing the filming, they've already like gone above and beyond that they should have gotten the grant money in the first place, because they've been with us all day, and they're the most patient, knowing that they're not getting fully paid for what they would be normally doing. So that's where most of her scholarship money has gone. She's in the process of trying to raise more money. So the books are going to not be something that she's going to make a profit off of. It's just going to be helping to take care of the current debt. And I probably will have some. I will probably also have some. They might also be listed on Amazon. I'm sure that documentary is eventually going to be posted somewhere. I'm not sure when that will be, because it's going to be going around doing viewings. And long as it's going around to different places as a viewing, it won't be online at that point. But at some point, it will be online. He talking about 250,000. This is Kevin. 250,000 pillowcases are needed. Keep them coming. He's so funny. And Sue telling him, don't give T a heart attack. Right. And Darcy says, of course, Jersey's going to want to play with Grandma. Jersey do anything she can to avoid sleep. The girl likes being awake. She does not like the sleep time hours. She resists that all the time. I think I've answered when the documentary will be available. And it's so funny because Betsy goes, I saw you on Jackman's. We were at Jackman's sewing the last 2 days, Jackman's Fabrics. We were there videotaping. And that's the other thing. You know, we got some places that are allowing us to use their facilities free of charge for this documentary as well. So we are getting very good support from the local community as well. So Betsy come texting me, I see you at Jackman's. And I have had so many emails, responses, people paying me money. I'm like, my phone has been off because I didn't want to interrupt the video recording. So, and then when I got back home and it was on, it's like, I'm tired. And then Friday was the last day that Joann's accepted a gift card. How come about a week ago I'm opening up a card and I see where I've got a gift card from one of you T Quilters? So I ended up going to Joann's yesterday too. I just bought some thread. And I want to talk about that. I think this just might be a talk day. We'll get half a Dresden plate sold maybe. I don't know. But I go into Joann's and I was just going to go get something basic like Kona black or, you know, some basic piece of fabric or anything just to get out. So I didn't, or I saw that they had black SF 101 because it's not hardly in stock on the shelves here. So I thought maybe I could get a bolt of that. Not knowing they don't post what the discounts are, which I wasn't really happy about. Not everywhere. And they just had up to 40%. So some stuff was not on sale. Some stuff was 10%. Some stuff like thread, it wasn't on sale until you bought 3 or 4 spools. So it was this thing, you know, and you don't know what you're really getting. Stuff isn't really priced right. But I'm here trying to use gift card anyway. And I go get a number just in case I get the interfacing. I pulled a number and it was 64. And I go, oh, great. And then I look up and see that they're working on number 4. So I had 60 people ahead of me. I just dropped that into the trash can. Went around saying maybe I'll get some. We're going to need some how come I'm blocking the name of that? The ironing fabric for the heat, Insulbright, that, you know, Insulbright by the Warm Company. I thought maybe I'll go over to that and I'll go get some, you know, some Insulbright because we're going to be needing some at retreat. And I'm figuring that should come in packages. At least some of it does come in packages and I don't have to get it cut. All of that stuff was cleared out. All the package batting. The only thing they had, foam was almost gone. They only had pillow forms still available. So the pillow forms must not have been cheap enough because that was all that was over in that section. So that knocked that out. So then I go over to the storage section and they didn't have any sign of what percentage storage was off. Now, I didn't want to take storage containers up to the front and then get up to the front and realize they're not on sale or only 10% off or 20% off because I'm not paying that either. So I just decided to just play it safe. I went over to thread and just bought about 7 or 8 spools of thread. And I still don't know what thread is off. And it wasn't off until like the 3rd one rang up and then it started taking the discount off on the thread. So that's what I ended up buying, was just 7 spools of thread. But I was in line. It took me maybe 30 minutes to check out. The line moved fast considering how long it was because it was wrapped into that little Z formation that they have. And then it was down an aisle. I have to say they had 3 people checking out and it went pretty fast. So I was the last person in line. It took about a couple of minutes before somebody came in line behind me. And I turned around and I asked her, because she had fabric in her hand. I said, how long did it take for you to get your fabric cut? It took her 3 hours to get her fabric cut. No, I don't have 3 hours to give to a line like that. Some people, that was the last day that they took the gift card. So everybody in there was trying to use their gift cards. And then I got on social media today after I got out of filming today. They had one person posted that they was in Joann's for 3 hours. Well, it's not gift cards anymore. I don't feel like Joann's stuff is on sale enough for me to be in line 3 hours to get it. 40% is nothing. That was what they would normally have stuff at. And I have a strong suspicion that they've knocked the prices up just so it makes it look like you're getting a better deal anyway. But there is no way that I would be in Joann's waiting 3 hours to get fabric cut, even at 40% off. Just not going to do it. So back to the documentary is that today we were working on the filming. Today was putting the quilt together as much as we could. We got some parts that are missing. So we got to have one more day where we get the quilt top finished. And that won't be filmed, but we all know who do you all think's in charge? I'm one of those people. It's like if we're planning a potluck and you go, I don't know what to bring. Well, guess what? I'll tell you what to bring. And guess what? It's going to be one of my favorite foods. If you're sitting there like 5 minutes in and you still don't know what you're bringing at work, I was the one that had, you bring this, you bring that, you bring that. And then I had all my favorite foods there. Then it got to the point where I was funny about who food I ate at work. So I would go into the room and start asking, what did you make from the people that I knew I would eat their food? The ones that actually washed their hands, So yeah, I'm one of those people that I can't sit idle. If nobody is telling anybody what to do, I knew that the person that was producing, she loves quilts. She loves anything fiber art, but she has never made a quilt. And so she doesn't know the process. She didn't know the terms. She didn't even know what we should do first. So I already knew that somebody was going to have to step up. My minutes, as I said, was limited. I couldn't be there till 5. So I'm one of those people, let's get going. I went and got the fabric bolts. I knew how much we needed. Got up to the counter, got everything cut. I come back in the room. I had the day before, I had asked people, what would you like to do? So people could do their favorite part. Somebody said she liked to cut. So I got fabric. I can't do nothing until something get cut. So I called her. I said, would you mind coming to help cut? Another person said, I'll help cut. So I had fabric I was distributing out. You cut this, you cut that. Then we needed some applique stuff. I can't tell you what the components are. So needed some applique stuff. So I got a whole applique section set up. Got a sewing section cut up. Got somebody that was squaring up blocks set up. Yeah, I'm one of those people like, I'll tell you what to do. If you do it, I'll tell you what to do. And they did. They said they really appreciated it because they were standing around not sure what to do. And so it really helped for me to come in and start kind of being a director of the quilt, because the lady had no idea about that particular part. She knows a lot about what she wants her end result to look like. And but she doesn't, as far as a quilt, she doesn't know how to get to that end result. So of course I was in there taking over a little bit. But in the end, they thanked me though, because what I did was, as pieces was getting done, I was putting them up onto this display board. And so then everybody got a snippet of what this quilt is going to look like, even though it's not all pieced together, because we had to stop because of a certain section missing. And so everybody kind of now knows what it's going to look like. And so that's where we are. It's going to be a great project. It was a great group of people to work with. So yeah, so thank you, everybody. I got my friends in here with the celebrities again. And thank you, Joe Carmel. That's really nice. Lizette Zayas is in here. It's a lot going on. I'm just going to skip down through some of this. Unless, if you got something. Hi, Vanessa Brown. I just seen your name. Nano Nato. Welcome. Janice Miller, Phyllis G, Jennifer E. Marge says send the link. One of my moderators, can you put my email address into the chat for Marge, please? Yeah, I'm willing. It just depends on if I can find you a roommate, it'll be great. If I can't find you a roommate, you have to get a single. Singles are easy for me to just add one person on. If I got to add one person on that's wanting a double and I don't have an empty room, then that's where it gets complicated. But I'll try to find you a roommate if that's what you want. But if not, just know if you want to attend that you need to pay for a single at that point. So a lot of people are saying that's what they always jack prices up for fabric. That's what liquidators do, mark the price up to 10 to 20% and then give you a sale. Yes, because even I never bought, like I would buy their keepsake quilting fabric for particular things, or I'm one of those people that some of their keepsake stuff felt different than other keepsakes. So I based it on how it felt to me, what I would purchase from Joann's on the keepsake quilting line because it was cheaper. And then they had the quilting premium fabrics that was $14.99. I'm like, I can go to a quilt shop for that price and I can make better selections because I got the whole quilt store to choose from. So it never made sense to me to buy premium quilting fabric at Joann's. Like, you're Joann's. What premium quilting fabrics do you have? You know, I can go to the quilt shop for that. So thank you, Sue, for putting my email there. Thank you, thank you. Hold on, guys. And Janice, I'm about to take charge, T. And it's only because I'm one of those people that even on the highway when we're driving, say like 8 hours to Alabama somewhere, I'm one of those people that I don't like the middle. I want to be at home or where I'm going. The whole 8-hour drive is like, okay, we got to go. Go to the bathroom, come on back out. Don't be lingering around in no rest area. We got to go. You don't want to drive? I'll drive. I hate the middle. But I'm one of those people that I'm flexible enough that I can operate in that zone very well. But that's not really, really where I want to be. I either want to be at the beginning, the end, or the return back. That middle thing hardly ever works for me. I'm a black and white person, but I can operate very efficiently in the gray. And I'm one of those people that know how to compromise as well, because that's what's difficult. So I'm doing it, but that's not really where I want to be. But it's not going to affect my decision making. It's not going to affect my ability to work well with the group. But my goal is let's get it done. I knew that we couldn't get the entire thing pieced today, but I wanted to get everything done that we could get done today. And that's exactly what happened. Because it's like, otherwise I won't be sleeping at night. Okay. Hey, Tracy. She says her rent is paid. Welcome to the chat. So, yeah. I've had some busy, interesting things going on lately, basically, is what's going on. So, we're going to attempt to sew. What time is it? Almost an hour in. It's just so many things that's going on in my life right now that, and I'm trying to make time and room for everything that's going on as well, I want to be able to, I wanted to do this documentary. This documentary really came along at the wrong time, one of the busiest times of my life. But I know, I talked with her vision and all of that. It was like, yes, I want to be a part of that. So, it's just a lot, but I have to make time for that. And I've also volunteered to quilt it if I can quilt it, basically how I want. I'm not going to do any custom quilting. I just want to do some basic quilting, but that will save her money that she doesn't have to pay a long armor about $800 for some custom quilting if that's the route she goes. So she's flexible and I'm willing to work with her. So I think it's going to be a great project. I don't know how all of this stuff is going to come out. Like I said, I don't understand how you're going to take 4 full days of videotaping and put it into an hour. So that's going to be the interesting part. So you won't see, I don't know, you only see about 5% of what we actually videotaped, which is so weird, but that's how it works. So, but I hadn't talked too much about it because, you know, it wasn't out there. But since Jackman's has posted what we're doing, she has now posted on her personal page what we're doing. I thought now would be a good time to share it with you guys. And so I've been really nice all the other times. I wore, the first time we filmed, I'm a Missouri quilter because we're talking about St. Louis quilters. So I wore my Missouri quilter shirt. And then yesterday, I just wore a shirt that said love. And today, I'm like, they getting the full T Quilts thing. Because this is who I am. I wear T Quilt shirts almost every day. Because I'm either filming, post office, out. And you'll be surprised at how many people stop me because I quilt. I got Scrap Club. I got all these different things that I have some kind of quilt related t-shirt on almost every day. Technically, it's what I wear. It's who I am. I always got that type of t-shirt on. Something quilting related. So when I was switching it out because I'm videotaping, that really wasn't who I am. But today I said we're going full force. T Quilts retreat. I didn't care today. You get what you get. Because one thing I do is I try to be cognitive of in somebody else's project representing my company or trying to use their stuff. But it's like, it's going today. This is just going to be what it is today. And then she even said today that if we had, you know, part of the book that she's writing, that she'll put in any of that type of stuff too. But today I was just like, I'm going for it today. It's part of who I am. March says, I have your email address. I just need to know the dates. The dates are June 24th through the 29th. It's a Tuesday through Sunday. You'll leave on Sunday, arrive on Tuesday. 2025. What meals are included? Technically, all meals are included if you're at the facility. How except for one, because we don't know on the first day what time people are coming in, so I don't order meals on the first day when we come. I don't order lunch. We only order dinner the first day. And my sister normally caters that, but I got to look at my contract. That's why I haven't mentioned that yet. She normally caters that, and then we pay. I ended up giving her that money to her. However, I need to check this contract and see when our first meal is there. However, some of you all that have had my sister food, I still might have her cater anyway, even if they provide lunch, because it ain't going to be on the same caliber. So if anybody still want food, you can get it. So technically, all of your food while we're at the facility, except for the first day, starting with dinner, is paid for, and then it goes Sunday through, you'll eat lunch. Let's see. And then lunch will be the end. After you eat lunch, you know, we'll do wrap up, and it's kind of like over at that point. We're not in the facility though for 2 days. Wednesday is our chartered bus day. I'm going to see if I can get them to provide like some kind of bagel or something for breakfast. Also see, I haven't gotten things confirmed, see if I can have them provide bag lunches for the people that are on retreat, since we've already paid for these meals. And then I'll just bring like a extra large cooler and we can just put this stuff into a cooler. So I'm going to see how that works. These are the details I haven't worked out yet. So you may not have to, do all your meals on Wednesday. However, we bring snacks. People donate snacks to the snack table. People donate snacks to the bus trip. And so people, if you send me some snacks from Sam's or Costco, I put them to the side. And then I decide if it's going to go into the retreat center or if it's going to go on a bus trip. So we have plenty of snacks. I always bring a couple of cases of water, the tall water bottles. Get like at least 2 of the 48s. Might get more because we got a larger group this time. Might get 3 this year. So we always have plenty of water, so you can you won't get dehydrated. So that's Wednesday, and then you'll be at the facility all day Thursday. We'll be in classes, and then we'll have on Friday during the daytime, like till 3, because the stores close at 3. We have shop hopping local. And so then that's where we go and do those stores. So again, we leave after breakfast, so you may want to buy your lunch out, and or, because we're not stopping for lunch, you might want to buy an early dinner. And then when we get back to the facility, you can eat whatever they got at the facility. Or we're in a location where you can just about get any type of fast food you want. Except for like Red Lobster. We got like a Longhorn. We've got Panda Express, Chipotle, Panera Bread, which is St. Louis Bread Company, by the way. That's what we call it here. Just thinking of Burger King's, McDonald's, just about everything. You can get sit-in Chinese. You can get all the chicken places or on the street. Popeyes, Kentucky Fried, Lee's, and the other one too. I don't go there that often. Raising Cane. Further down, you've got White Castle. This is all within like 5 miles. White Castle. The other burger place. You got Freddy's. And then we also got the other one I'm blocking. That's Kevin's favorite. Where is he at? We just went there not too long ago. And White Castle, you can eat. You won't be hungry. And if you don't like, the thing I will say about, we're going to what I consider like a nunnery where the nuns used to live. It was their home. They no longer, well, I don't know if nuns live at this place. I don't think so anymore. Mercy, they still live there, but they're not doing any of the prepping that they used to do. Used to be the nuns were the chefs. They did all the cooking, the cleaning, the blah, blah, blah. And now they hired that stuff out and the nuns are kind of just retiring, okay? Working with the church, and then they're in their retirement mode. So Culver's, thank you, Betsy. Culver's, you can get barbecue. It's not my favorite, but it's okay. It's edible. That's all I can say. So you can get just about anything you want off of Lindbergh. Just depends on how many miles you want to drive. And they're all within reasonable distance. It's just that Lindbergh is one of our busiest streets, hence all of the different establishments. And so it's going to have a lot of traffic. That's all you need to be aware. We even got a Walmart on it. We've got a Target off of it. You got grocery stores off of it. So we've got everything off of Lindbergh just about within a 5-mile radius. Okay. So you always have some food. You don't like what the facility have. That's what I'm going to say. Sometimes you're not going to go get meals that are going to make you sit there and go, oh my God, this was the best blah, blah, blah I ever had. No, it's not going to happen. It's just going to be edible food. And if you want something really, really good, you're going to have to, go somewhere else. It's just acceptable food. If you can eat salads, the salad bar is always a good thing at Mercy. Palatine Center, we haven't been here in a long time. When we were there, the nuns cooked for us. So I have never been there where the nuns have not cooked. It's contracted in kitchen work. So that's what's going to be different. So I can't tell you whether this food is going to be good or not. All I know is I'm just going to have my charge card just in case. Because I know where the places are. If I'm not happy with the food, I'll go get me something else. And I'm not going to complain to the place about it, because that's not why I come. The rooms are not going to be your best rooms. They're going to be acceptable rooms. You're not going to have any issues with rodents or anything like that I'm aware of. But, I feel like these beds are better than the beds at Mercy so far. The problem with this place is that it was nuns, right? Got to remember what these buildings are made for. They were made for nuns who live very simplistic life. Now they've updated the rooms, and the rooms look really nice. However, they had communal showers, and they still got one communal shower where if you don't want to use the tiny closet bathroom, because when you walk up, you've got like a double door closet, and then to your left or right, whichever way you want to put it, it's going to be a toilet. In the middle, it's going to be a sink, and on the other side, it's going to be your shower. And then it's so small that you can't even put a door there because it was a closet, right? Otherwise, you're going to be hitting your funny bone in your elbow the whole time. So it's a shower curtain. But if you don't want to use that, they still do have the big showers in the communal area. I just need to figure out where it is because I've forgotten. It's been so many years. But then you want to bring some shower shoes because you're in a community shower thing. So you have to know, like, why you're going to retreat. It's not to be in your room. It's not to have the amenities of your room. Although I feel like the rooms that I saw that were updated were very nice at Palatine. So I'm just assuming that they're all like that. And I did talk to them about that ahead of time. And he says, yes, we've updated all of our rooms. So I can only tell you what they tell me because I can't go check 40 something rooms, okay? So, or however many they got. I can't go check them all. So I checked 2 of them, and that was enough for me. I said, this is sufficient for me to book here. Place was very clean. The staff were professional at the time, and then I found out later why I wasn't getting responses back when I was waiting for responses. So figured out what was going on with that. But so yeah, you're not going for the amenities. We're not in a Marriott hotel. They don't have those type of room services. They give you a towel and you use it as long as until you ask them for another towel or something. You know what I'm saying? So if you one of them people that need a towel every day, you're gonna have to find a staff member and say, can I get a towel? Me, I just either bring my own and then I just reuse for the number of days, or you figure it out. But I do use their towels in some fashion. But I also bring some of my own too. So it just depends. And some of the people in the chat, maybe they can tell you some more information about that, because I think people that are unknown about things like that, I think it makes a big difference. You find out, other than the bed situation, like at Mercy, we found out all the twin beds have a piece of plyboard. And if you're one of those people that don't sleep on a very hard surface, being me, then you're going to have an issue with the bed. Now, ironically, I'm only up 3 hours most nights when I'm at retreat, so it doesn't bother me as bad, as somebody that's going to bed for a full 8 hours. And if you don't sleep on a hard surface, some people like it for their back. It's great for them. And then there's others of us who've decided that they just put their mattress on the floor, so we make do with what we are given at this point, because we know the true reason of retreats. And sometimes if you're your first time at retreat, you may not fully understand that. I have a feeling nobody will be sleeping on the floor at Palatine. I just have a feeling. I'm hoping it's true, because what I saw, they looked really nice. Uh, Joe Carmel says, oh, Sue says, I've had C's cooking. She says, the bestest. Yes. Hi, Quilts and Chocolate. Welcome, welcome. Joe Carmel says, Pappy Smokehouse. The Pappy's is not, well, it might be I don't know what that smokehouse is called on Lindbergh, but it's not Pappy's, if I'm not mistaken. And then to me, the smokehouse we went to, that food was acceptable compared to the original Pappy's. It was good. I ate it because I think I had a pulled pork sandwich or something. I ate it, Joe Carmel, but when I went to the original one down by, it's in the South City by St. Louis University. That one, honey, that stuff was so good. But again, that was all pre-COVID. We've changed over with chefs. In every restaurant that we've had here, we've even gotten Italian restaurants that can't even get cooks. They only open for dinner now. So it's a lot. Convent, yes. Thank you. And when I said a nunnery, a convent, yes. Thank you, Lizette. It's like I have so much in my head. It's like I can't get the appropriate words to pop in. And I'm physically tired for real, y'all. Hi, Evelyn Muhammad. She's working on a few alterations for the grands while listening to YouTube in the background. And she says she's paid the rent. So thank you so much. More said, no problem. Just trying to figure out my side budget. I can usually find something to eat locally if I need to, but I am not real picky. So if you're not real picky and knowing that like you're not going to have to die for meals, I eat my meals at the retreat center. I will tell you that. At Mercy, I eat whatever meals they give me. I've never gone out for a meal except for, I think, Friday because we missed when dinner came. I think Benita wasn't hungry and she didn't eat dinner. I think we were back because we got back early, but we were full. We got back right before dinner. So some of us didn't eat dinner at Mercy because we had just got through eating Pappy Smokehouse. And so Benita got hungry about, I don't know, 10 o'clock at night or something. And so then we go out trying to find Benita food. And of course, we all start eating, okay? So I don't normally eat anything out like that. Hey, Laura Lynn from Mom and Pop Quilt Shop. Welcome. I am not being productive today. I am just yapping. I intended to be. So that's pretty cool. So welcome to the chat. I like when people ask me questions though, because I do like the chat portion of sewing chat. I've sewed 6 seams. Oh my goodness. Oh, Sue says last live you were talking about the 1000 quilt makers quilt blocks, and she says she found her copy. It has a CD for the paper piecing blocks. In the beginning, it did. It doesn't have it in it now, Sue. I got a different publication, like a different printing, and it's not in there. It specifically tells you in the page to go to the website to download the PDF. And I think the reason why they did that is because now computers don't come with a CD player. You have to get an external hard drive reader for your CDs in order to play that. So they stopped doing that, I think. So it's 11:14 for her. Wow, in Canada. And let's see. Hi, Katie Greenland Quilter. Welcome, welcome. Seen her. And none of the retreats I've gone to are fancy. I usually drive instead of flying. Makes a difference as to how much you bring instead of filling up your car. I usually drive. Yeah. When you drive, you tend to bring more stuff. And that's why, I was offering, like we do sewing machine rentals for people. And the only, well, there's two reasons why I charge something for sewing machines attending my retreat. One is that I don't have enough machines for people to take the luxury of saying, I don't want to bring my machine. I'm just going to get one because it's free. So, because then that means I'm bringing more stuff. I'm already renting a U-Haul trailer to bring to the retreat, to bring all the stuff that I got to bring. And number two, because machines, something goes wrong with some machines. Somebody forget to put the needle into a certain position, and then it goes and hits the 1/4 inch foot, which just has the little dot hole. And then I may have to go get adjustments. So it helps to pay for any machine repairs that I have to do. And I remember after last retreat, I had to get some machines repaired. And I was in a hole. So that's why I do charge. And it's still a nominal charge. I'm basically charging you less than $10 a day because we're there 6 days, 5 nights. So you pay $50 for a sewing machine rental if you need one. I do encourage people to bring their own. There are a number of people that have purchased small sewing machines that will fit into a carry-on bag, and then they just bring that. I've had people bring their featherweights as carry-on luggage. If you bring a sewing machine, please do not put it in any of your luggage. I don't care how well you think you have it wrapped. You don't want your sewing machine to be damaged, bringing it, and then it doesn't even pan out. So make sure that you do it as your carry-on luggage if you do. So Sugar Fire Steakhouse. That's it's a barbecue on Lindbergh. Yeah. It's just okay to me. Now, you got to remember I'm different. First of all, my family grew up in the South, and just about every Southern person knows how to cook. I mean, it's trained in you. If you got a family, it was 12 of my mother, now you got to know how to cook, okay? Everybody went through that kitchen. So my mom already was a very good cook. And you don't realize that your family can or can't cook until you go somewhere else. Okay? And like my husband, when I met him, his mom couldn't cook. And it was a lot of things that he said he didn't like. And I go, well, try it with my family cooking it. And the only thing that he doesn't eat that he said he didn't like is seafood. He just don't have any. He said he cannot stomach seafood. It just makes him nauseous. So that's the only thing that he doesn't eat. But it was so many things that my husband said that he did not eat and wouldn't even try it because it wasn't, his mom wasn't a chef. And the funny thing was she was a dietitian, if I'm not mistaken. But that don't mean you know how to cook. But you know, I grew up with chefs, and then my mom went on to become a gourmet chef. I had two brothers that also worked in restaurants and higher management, and they were the higher level bar restaurants, but they had very good food at these bar restaurants. And they still had sit down places for you to eat at tables with tablecloths and things like that. They were also trained. I don't know if you all remember where Dearbirds, the grocery store, I don't know how far they went out into other areas, but they were in the Missouri areas. And they had a restaurant. Two of my brothers started working there as teenagers and learned from there. And then they went on to manage, like I said, upper class bar restaurants in St. Louis area. So cooking, and then my sister, she's never worked professionally, but my mom has done catering gigs because when she would feed people at her establishment, she worked for Washington University, has a place. I'm not going to call off any names. And only the stockholders or their invitees were allowed to eat into that place at Washington University. And so my mom was their chef there. So because her food was so good there, they would hire her to do private vending. And my sister, my whole family can cook except for my one sister. We jokingly talk about you don't want to eat her food. And so my sister used to help my mom vend and catering. So that's where my sister has learned to do the vending side, but learning to cook. Every last one of my mom's kids got cooking classes, I think, except for my one sister. I think she must have been hiding in the bathroom or something because everybody else can cook something decent except for her. That's what I say. And I'm sure she's a better cook now, but you know, Um, yeah, so it's kind of ingrained. I always had good food. And there was one time I had never eaten at anybody's house on a major holiday, and I decided I was going to eat at somebody else's house for Thanksgiving. And I only made that mistake one time, and I've never made that mistake again. No, I must eat all of my holiday meals at home. Absolutely. So, like I said, you don't even realize that food tastes different. You're just used to eating your family food because we didn't eat out a lot. My mom, it was 12 of my mom, so they learned how to cook. My mom had 8 children, so we learned how to cook. And we just did not eat out a lot. That was very expensive. We would only eat out, get McDonald's or fast food stuff when we were on the road traveling. So, I don't think we're going to get a block made today, but that's okay too. I'm fine with that. It's just weird. Mom's and Pop's quilt shop talking about ha ha ha, yapping's productive. Yes. I'm gonna lose my voice probably because we've had 2 days of talking. And Bonita says yes, thank you very much. Yes. And Lori saying she needs to come to one of the retreats. Yeah, it's just amazing to me. It's I think anybody that's typing in chats and you're getting along with the people in the chat, that you will have a great time at retreats. And I think it's so fun because when people come, sometimes the first thing that they'll ask is, "What's your name on YouTube?" If it's not your name, so like some people, it's their name, so they don't have to ask. But then if you just say, "My name is Lori," and they'll go, "What's your YouTube name?" And then you go, "Oh, Miss Topaz, yeah, you've been on there for a while." So it's amazing that people know your YouTube stuff, but they don't have any face to put to it. So they're really happy about that. So that's kind of how the first day go for the newbies that don't know anybody. They're learning who everybody is because a lot of you all are in the chat all the time that come to the T Quilts retreat. So, and it's a few of you all that aren't in here living your life, but they still come to retreat. I'm working on these. Oops, I just pressed that the wrong way when I pressed the other side. Let's correct that. Sometimes it's hard to fix a mistake like that when you press the wrong way and steam it. But I'm sewing, I'm pressing the seams open to these little Dresden plates. So that's what I'm currently doing. And we won't press that one on that side anymore. So we'll try to get one of these little plates done. We only got, what, 6 seams, 5 seams? Something like that. I think it's 5 seams to connect 6 pieces. And again, this year this is my first time not shop hopping in Missouri. We do have other areas of Missouri we haven't been to yet that I want to take you to, but I had to take you all to some of my Illinois favorite shops. So we're actually going to be shop hopping in Illinois, which is against my principles of doing the retreat in Missouri, but we're going to do it this year. So last year we went to some nice quilt shops and even ended up, as I told you, I try to be well-rounded. We ended up at a Ben Franklin, okay? And y'all were in that Ben Franklin shopping for fabric. I saw a couple of you all up and down the aisles buying other items that Ben Franklin sells. So yeah, it was pretty cool. And we actually have 2 Ben Franklins that have fabric that I'm aware of. I don't think there's any more. And it's owned by the same person, but they're in different counties. And Marge says her book did not come with a CD either. Yep. Marge, you're in St. Petersburg, Florida. Mom and Pop says, I love seafood. Good thing we live on the coast. Yes, I love seafood too. So it used to be, you know, I used to eat fish every Friday. And then when I met my husband, it was like, okay, I had to stop that. Well, at one point, I would cook my seafood meal. Me and my daughter would eat that. And I would fix him. I was fixing 2 meals for Friday because he didn't eat seafood. And then that's just like, okay, this is getting old. So I stopped doing seafood. And now, I eat more seafood than any other meat now. But, you know, I'm not raising a family anymore. I've been there, done that. So I don't have to worry about meals. So my husband and I, we kind of fend for ourselves unless we're eating the same thing. I do cook sometimes, but I don't cook every day. But I'm one of those people that I'm a prepper a little. I'm not a true prepper. I do make like soups and things like that I can put in the freezer that we can pull out at any time. You know, so it's always something there. When I do cook, I cook like the full family size version. Like I just recently made a chicken pot pie and I made a 9x12 dish full. And then we ate that for a few days. So yeah, you know, I'm one of those people that I don't even know how to cook. Well, I can do it. I'm one of those people that I cook a meal for 4 or more. Just because that's what I grew up doing. I do know how to cook small, but I don't because I like leftovers. So these little baby Dresdens are just too cute. Jason's helping to coordinate an event. And the lady that wrote this pattern, Susan Quilts, I think is how it is, SUZ''N Quilts. She's at their event vending. So I thought that was cool. And he's showing me pictures of the Dresden village in her booth. So I thought that was cool. Kevin and I actually got to meet her and talk to her when she was at the Branson Quilt Show a few years back, maybe 3 to 4 years back. It was an AQS show. And so that was cool that she was there. I'm trying to figure out which side I want to put this one on. Yep, this side. Making sure. I got to get these thread tails. I can't stand them. I don't like cutting my thread, but on the Dresdens, when I don't want to stitch all the way down, I have to. Plus, I want to back stitch off so I don't have my thread showing at the top of my dress. Oops, I cut the thread. We're just going to drop that foot and back it up anyway, so we can reinforce that, because I do want to back stitch that. All right, let's cut some of these thread tails that are annoying. This side's really pretty because I stopped and started. All right. that over there. Press this seam. And then we'll have 2 halves. I'm trying. I need to be pressing on my press stick because I keep messing up the previous seam. That's what this prevents. Okay. Okay. Let's see if I've got threads in here. Get rid of those. All right, 2 halves together now. We're gonna get 1 Dresden almost done. We don't have the centers. This is so sad. Oh gosh, but I've been sewing all day or coordinating a quilt all day, so I don't feel bad. I'm actually proud of myself that I came in here and pressed the other Dresdens flat and before I even went live, so I was really happy with that. So we've got this one, and then we'll have this one done. I haven't seen a whole lot of comments. I'm trying to do some sewing. Oh, Darcy says her husband is driving her down, so that's cool. She says she'll probably bring. It's best to have your stuff than not have it. That's for sure. So, yeah, we had one person whose husband brought her. She was in Georgia. I was like, now that's some dedication right there. My husband would have happily, I don't even know if he would have paid for a plane, because my husband, as he got older, he's a little tight with his money, but I do get it from him every now and then. But he wouldn't have had any qualms about me going, but he definitely weren't going to be driving me. I think I can say that, unless I really begged him to, but I wouldn't. I wouldn't put him out. But I don't think he would have offered that, unless I asked. If I'd have asked him, he'd done it. But I wouldn't have asked him. Just give everything a final press and let it cool here before I move it. Kim says, my husband makes the best barbecue I've ever eaten. He worked at a barbecue place as a teenager. Oh, and says, however, I can't cook. He hate cooking. Oh, she hates cooking. Yeah. Girl, bring the barbecue to retreat. Paula says, don't forget the caramel cake. You need at least 2. Girl, I already do 2. That's 2. I bring a full sheet cake pan of cake, but it's so many people, so it's cut like wedding style. You know, you get like a 1 inch by 2 inch piece, something like that. It might be a little bit bigger. Honey, they will, if you knew, they won't tell you anything about the cake. Let me tell y'all already. They'll let you go somewhere when they know the cake coming out. They don't care. You will get beat up about a piece of cake. That's the only time it kind of gets violent in the T Quilts retreat is when I bring out, it's just a lemon pound cake with caramel icing. And they not playing. Don't tell somebody to get your piece and hold it, because they'll get your piece, but you're never going to get it. They are hilarious about that cake. And so here is our one for today. Little baby Dresden. I don't have it on a background yet. I got, let's see, I think it was 8 more. Yeah, so now I have 7. So then once I get all of these sewed, I'll make the little circles and put those on. I'm going to hand sew those on. And then I got to put these onto backgrounds. And I think I am going to hand applique down my pieces because I saw Jason sent me a picture of the original owners. And she just did an all over feather panto on hers. And I think it looks sufficient. So I think I might be doing something like that too. So let's see. And Sue talking about only 2, Paula. Yeah, they something else with them with that cake. And Quilts and Chocolate says, my family won't let me cook the greens. Kevin says, sorry, had to watch the Boeing 737 off and wash the Boeing 737 off and get something to eat. What have I missed? Nothing. Hey, Sue Allen, welcome. CJR Creations is reminding you all, if you haven't hit the thumbs up button, make sure that you hit it before you leave or as you're leaving tonight. I really, really would appreciate it. It just promotes the videos out to other quilters. And then I'm laughing because Brenda Foley has told Kevin that what he missed was Tijuana said that you like a restaurant, particular restaurant on Lindbergh. And then Kevin writes back and says, there are so many, laughing out loud. Because I'm telling y'all, Kevin is a foodie, okay? He loves to eat. We were talking about covers of burger places. I was telling them like different chicken places, different burger places, and then places where you can sit down and eat on Lindbergh, all the different restaurants. Talking about she made chicken pot pie and never shared a bit with me. Right. My husband and I ate it. I had my family trying to get that pie. I didn't give anybody any of that chicken pot pie. We ate it. It was already gone when Kevin asked me. We had like one more meal that night. We ate that chicken pot pie. And I will tell you, Kevin, because I mentioned it to my husband. And he says, Kevin is not getting any of this pie. He ate that chicken pot pie. Kevin always telling me that him and Ben are besties. And that Ben will make sure that he gets blah, blah, blah. And Ben's like, I'm eating this. He is too funny. Moore says it's hard to cook for 1 or 2. It seems like a waste of time. Yeah, it takes a lot of dishes. So that's why I just make a lot of stuff. I make stuff that lasts like 2 or 3 days. And then soups, like I said, I'll take like 1 or 2 days and I might make 2 to 4 soups in that time period. And then I just put it up and then I have choices on the soups I like. I do like that. Oh, she's making chocolate chip banana bread. For some reason, I love all bread, but I do not like banana bread. And it's because the bananas are so soft. I'm not one of those people that like mushy bananas. Like if I do banana pudding, I have to eat it the day it's made. Or the next day, like within 24 hours. I can't eat it like day number 2 because the bananas are too soft in the sauce. So I have texture issues with food is one of the things that I have. And so I can't eat the banana bread because of the texture of the banana being in there. Now I can eat pumpkin bread if it's pureed, but most bananas are just smashed. And so it's not like pureed. So why are you causing problems? Oh my God. She talking to someone about that banana bread. Oh my goodness. Thank you, Laura Lynn says it's very pretty, the Dresdens. If I got 8 here, I must have 8 already made because I need 16, I think. Miss T yelling, security, security, when that cakes come out. Right. And it's so funny. You know, they'll walk up to me like Sue, Sharon Lewis, you have to know Sharon Lewis to be able to appreciate who she is because she can adapt to any situation. She can be the minister. She can be the professional at work. She can be your best friend. She can be your mom. But then she can also be your street person, like, what's going on? What do you need help with? She wears all these many hats, and she does it in such a professional manner that all of her, like, I don't want to say like characters, but all of her personalities are so acceptable in the moment. She can be the fun dancer, which that one caught me off guard when she started dancing. Yeah, it caught me off guard. So it was like, because when you first meet somebody, you get their first one that they're putting on. I got the office person, but very friendly. And when I called her name for a quilt draw and she won, one of the previous winners had a song that they played when they name got called. Well, she saw somebody else had theirs and she was like, I'll give me a song too. It was hilarious. Okay, so we call her Drop It Like It's Hot Sharon. That's not the song she played, but that's what we gave to her, was Drop It Like It's Hot. Okay. But you just never know what you're gonna get out of people. I love it. But when that cake come out, they're vicious. Okay, they are vicious. This time at retreat, they was mad at me because I did not put the cake out. I sat there and I cut that cake, and then I had a helper that went around and gave people their cake in their sitting positions. Don't come up here by the cake. They were mad at me because they couldn't come over there and cut their cake. They were cutting cake so big, there was no cake left for everybody. There was no way that if I let them cut that cake on their own last year, because now they've had the cake, they know the cake is good. It's been 2 years, so they would have cut like a quarter of the cake, and the cake would have been gone with 4 people. Okay, that's how I know they would have done. But they'll walk up to me, Sue, who looks innocent, Sharon, who can play any role, so she can look innocent, and they go, if you want, we can be cake security. We'll watch the cake while you're not in the room. I said, they must think I was born yesterday. These two are the worst. It was so funny. I didn't even know that Sharon was part of the problem, but somebody else told on her, okay? I was like, When she came up to me, she didn't know that I knew. Somebody already put you out there, girl. Hi, Francis Jackson. Welcome. Kevin talking about OM to the G, Ben. Ben not playing with you. Poor Susie Q had a cake emergency and passed out on the floor, and Miss T just looked at her right, and I just walked right over. They are dramatic, okay? Joe Carmel was talking about her blood pressure was low. Sue passing out. They're a hot mess. They are a hot mess. Right. They were showing out. It was so funny because I had the cake held hostage in my bedroom because the year before I had left it in they have like meeting breakout rooms. And so I had left it in one of them, and it has a kitchenette. So I had left it in that room so that anybody that want cake, well, they never told the people that didn't know about the cake that the cake was in the room. So basically it was like, I'm just going to guess and say about 7 or 8 people that knew about the cake. And so they brought the cake down on the last day because that cake should have never been there still on a Friday night. So the cake is now downstairs on the snack table by the conference room. So I turn around and I see the box and I go, we got cake. I never got a piece. So I'm going to go over here and get me a piece of cake. How come I open that box up? And when I left the cake, I had 1 butter knife in there for the cake to be cut. There's 2 butter knives and not a iota of cake to be had, but the box is closed up like it's still cake in there. Yeah. Yeah, that's how they do. They are too funny when it comes to that cake. So I made sure that everybody got cake last year that wanted cake. And I think everybody took the cake. Um, but yeah, they can be something else when they come with that cake. Oh, Frances says she made 3 dressings and don't know if we'll have a village or not. Maybe a long block. You know what? The little small Dresdens or they're all made out of one fabric. Now, you could technically make them out of multiple fabrics, but I'm thinking if it's just one fabric, couldn't we just cut that shape out and applique that down or something? I'm trying to figure out what to do about that because I don't think we should be making little Dresdens if it's just in one fabric. Otherwise, I'm going to make mine scrappy because there is no way I'm going to. So, it's over 100 of these little bitty Dresdens only. Like you use just 100 of these little ones that my fingertip is on. Okay. Yeah, either that or we're going to be appliquing some circles or I don't know. Maybe we can make some other kind of blocks we can add in. What else goes with a village? We already got trees and houses and people. Maybe we can come up with something else that's in our village. Maybe we'll make a garden and we can have some kind of paper piece strawberries or something. I don't know, but I don't know. We got a lot to do on this. That's why I said my quilt will be done in 2042, and that's not like a misspoken I mean that maybe I'll get this quilt done in 2042. Okay. This is a very challenging project. And so, like I said, I'm going to move on. We were supposed to move on in February and we did not. So I will make an assignment for March, but we're not going to do the small dressings, which is the next step in the pattern. We're going to skip to something else, and I haven't decided what we're going to do yet. Maybe we can make some trees or something. But we're going to skip so that we can give ourselves a little break from these Dresdens once we get these little Dresdens done. So, but I do want to get all 16 of this size piece. So when I come back to the little other Dresdens, I'll figure out what I'm going to do at that time. But this quilt is no joke, okay? So I fully understand, Francis. Kevin and I have been jokingly saying we're gonna do a cul-de-sac. Like you have about 3 or 4 houses in that little cul-de-sac circle, and we ain't gonna even have the street that lead up to it. It's just gonna be like it's in construction or something. But I'm trying to get them done. That is too funny. Kevin even laughing at you, Francis. Right. And he even telling you about our cul-de-sac. Yep. Monty Pep is here, says, uh-oh. Oh, that's the worst. Opening up an empty cake. But girl, I about passed out. I spazzed out. You know, I had been professional the whole retreat with them. I went and I go, who left an empty cake box out here on this table? You know, we got big trash cans everywhere. We got 2 in the room, 2 of them outside in the hall. We got recycle bins. And the person who took the last cake left 2 dirty butter knives and the empty box. And it was so funny. I ain't gonna say her name on here. She threw herself under the bus. She go, it was me. I just turned around. I couldn't even say nothing because I'm like, at least she fessed up. You know, she confessed. But it was hilarious. Oh my goodness. Kevin talking about Miss T, you're going to make the Dresdens. You started this, you're going to finish it, laughing out loud. I'm going to finish it my way. It's going to be my quilt, Kevin. I will figure out what I want to do and not do. Frances says she is making hers scrappy. There are vacant lots in villages, right? That's what Kevin said. So we can put some plain squares. What pattern are you making? It is called Dresden Village, and it's by Susan Quilts. SUZ_N Quilts. You can look it up. It's beautiful. I don't have my phone in here again. I didn't bring it because Jason had just texted me a picture of it because the lady is vending at his festival that he's having with his quilt shop. Could it be traced and scanned into a scan and cut? The outer Dresden, yes, we can do that. But I would be not cutting it. I would make a template of, like, I might make one small Dresden and then make a template, because I would still have to make one in order to get the template, because this is a different angle. All Dresden patterns are made at their own angles based on how many blades are in it. And so this is a weird angle. I have like 3 or 4 Dresden cutting things, and none of them fit these templates. So I had to go buy these templates because I need this particular size to fit on her particular background square. So I would have to make one so that I can make a template or cut. Yeah, I would have to make one because the template is not in the Dresden point shape. You know, it's not, you have to sew that to get it. So I would have to make one to make a template so that then I can use that to draw my lines onto the back of my fabric. And then I would do some kind of flip and sew method and then get my points that way instead of sewing all the seams or cutting all those little mini Dresdens out. Because, honey, this is going to be a chore. And like I said, I can't remember what the number is, but it's like 100 and something, or 100. I think it's more than 100 though. And Kevin's gave Marge the information, so thank you, Kevin. Francis saying, T, we need to continue on. Don't stop. I'm not gonna stop. It's just that I think once we do the first task, which we've been on for 2 months because nobody else. So I'm glad Francis is now working on it. So that's good. And we'll when we go to step number 2, we're not going to make the small Dresdens, which is step number 2. We're going to skip and do something else so that we get a break. And then we're going to come back. We're going to make people, or we're going to make trees or something. We got people, trees, and houses. We got big houses and little houses. So we're going to do something else so we can have some fun. And the thing is, as tedious as these Dresdens are to make, and because they're so tiny, but they are gorgeous to look at, it's very motivating to know that, okay, I pieced that, you know. So it is that factor that's included in it as well. And Benita, you know, help talking about not 1, but 2 dirty butter knives. Right, girl. I was about ready to scream because I had that cake in my mouth already. Sometimes, you know how when you cook stuff, because it was presented on Tuesday night instead of me waiting till Thursday. And I wasn't ready to eat it because I had eaten my sister's food. I was full. I didn't, you know, cake is like whatever. I make the cake, it's no big deal. Then when I saw the box, because I figured I had never been back into the little kitchenette lounge area. And then when I saw the box out there, I go, oh, somebody brought the box down. That was really nice. So I go over there and just had the taste of that cake already in my mouth. I must have been hungry. It was after dinner. We had been line dancing and everything else. And I go and lift that box up. Boy, I was done. Okay. More says, like going for orange juice or milk and finding an empty carton in the fridge. Exactly. Yes. Yeah, Frances says they are so cute. So she's done 3. So, you know, it's just a process. And like I said, I know that nobody probably will get their quilt done in the time that we're going to do this. But what I'm going to do is just go over each section that I'm doing. So I'm going to pick a next section and start working on it. And then I'm going to leave my little bags here and hopefully I'll get these sewn. They may not all get the circles and all of that, but they'll be, you know, moving them along step by step. But try to work on something else so you get a little bit more motivation. Just do a little bit of this and that, and you can always go back and finish the other steps, because making them 100 little small ones is going to take like probably 20 Well, no, not 20. It'll take about 10 years. That'll be 10 of my 18 years, because it's going to take me like to 2042 to get this quilt done. So, and Joe coming here talking about what had happened was she throwing herself under the bus again, y'all. Oh my goodness. She don't care about getting in trouble going to the timeout room. She was so cute and fessed up. I just let her have it. I was like, at least she fessed up. I didn't have no, normally when you come and say something happened, nobody admits to the issue. So I couldn't even say nothing. I had to walk out because I couldn't say it's okay because I didn't have any cake. But I was like, okay, at least she, let me know who it was. Oh my goodness. Yolanda says, I would opt for a Dresden farm without the animals and crops. We don't have, she would opt for a Dresden farm without the animals and crops. Are you making all Dresdens? Because I'm not. That is too funny. And Sue saying it's still hilarious. Right. It's like you have to be, it's like when you go to these family reunions and things happen that families tell years down the road, that's always going to be a story. And I didn't even realize that I was in that mode of, like, I didn't realize I wanted the cake that bad either. And even when I went to the door to announce, I knew I was going to the door because it was only like 3 steps to the door. So I didn't have a whole lot of time to process it. But I didn't realize I was going to just blow the room up with like, who ate the last piece of cake and left the empty box on the table with 2 butter knives in the box. I was like, I was locked in on the fact that I don't have cake. So yeah, it's always going to be, the stuff that you have. It's just a memory. So T Quilts retreats or something else. And then Kevin talking about no one even mentioned that there were big time stars at the last retreat to sing to T herself. Uh-huh. I don't know if we ever, I don't even remember if anything ever got put on YouTube. I would have had to put that out there as a separate, because it would have been copyrighted, and it was like, I don't know how to even put it. Some things that happen at retreat has to stay at retreat. It was hilarious though. Talking about right, Kenny, laughing out loud, right, Dolly. So we had Kenny and Dolly at retreat. Okay, y'all know who they are now. Yeah, but it was hilarious. So yeah. It's 10:03. I have sold one incomplete Dresden because it doesn't have a center. I could have at least sold 2 or 3 to be in this type of position, but why be an overachiever? Oh my goodness, I can't believe this. But I had a lot of things that happened in the last few days, a lot of things to discuss, and that's what we're gonna do. So also, if you're not on the Facebook group, you can go over to the Facebook group and join. Also, in the file section on the Facebook group is also where you can find information for the retreat, because you have to complete a registration form in order to attend as well. Yeah, that's kind of where we are. So, any other questions? We'll be back on Wednesday, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time for 1 hour chat. Again, it's March birthday shout out. So if your birthday is this month, you want me to do a shout out for you, you can send it to me in an email, t@tquilts.com, tquilts@tquilts.com, and I will make sure that I add you to the birthday shout out list. If on Wednesday you're putting your birthday into the chat, it's just going to be for the people who are reading the chat. I'm not going to do any birthday shout outs from the chat. So that's why I'm making sure everybody knows that if your birthday is this month, you want me to give you a shout out, go ahead and send it to me. Also, You don't have to wait until your birthday month. If your birthday is in June, you can go ahead and send me your birthday now. I'll add you to the list and you don't have to worry about it later when I'm doing the June birthday shout out. So it doesn't matter what month your birthday is in. If you want to be added to the birthday list, just send me an email and I will gladly add you to the list. The reason why I don't take it on notes or in here is because I have to do that at my desktop computer, because that's where I have Excel, so that I can put it into the database, so then I can print it back out by, birthday. Okay. So it's not in here. So I can't do anything for you here. You have to send it to me in an email. Linda Williams is here. She says she just got home from seeing her kids and her 6 grandchildren and seeing her first granddaughter, who is 5 weeks. Well, congratulations. That is so fun. I miss Jersey. I can't believe how fast she's growing. So it's such a pleasure to have a 5-week-old, to just have that little baby sent to him all the time. So my little Jersey's in gross mode right now. She's doing the digging in the nose. The stuff. That's why kids always sick. They just dirty. I'm constantly wiping her hands and stuff. She is something else. Kids are something else. So congrats on the new grandbaby, all your grandbabies. But, it's always that baby smell that gets us all the time. So people are giving her good night. So I'm going to go ahead and end here and say good night to everyone. You all stay blessed. Be safe, everyone, and quilt out. So thank you so much for your support on this channel. I really appreciate it. And we'll be back Wednesday, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Bye, you all.